Is Jonathan Taylor the current MVP?
I think he's the best player in the league. Just seeing it week in, week out, I mean, he's playing at a high level. I'll say Drake Maye is number 2, just because, I mean, I went to school with him and fellow Tar Heel.
Welcome to the Schultz Report. I'm your host, NFL insider Jordan Schultz, and in today's episode, we're talking Week 12 fallout in the massive menu of Thanksgiving games ahead. Keyshawn Johnson will be tapping in to share his thoughts on Shedeur Sanders and the high-powered NFC West, and Josh Downs, Colts wide receiver, will be joining us. Lock in and let's go. Other sports books just don't hit right, but exclusive Thanksgiving and Black Friday rewards make switching to Fanatics Sportsbook easy. Football fans, listen up. Tomorrow, get 2 same-game parlay, 50% profit boost tokens, and a 25% anytime touchdown score profit boost to use on any of the 3 pro football games. Keep the winning streak going on Black Friday with a 50% college football profit boost and 3 25% same-game parlay profit boost tokens to use across the NBA slate. Plus, join Fanatics and enter the Black Friday Fan Cash Drop for free. It's your weekly chance to earn up to $10,000 in fan cash. Fanatics Sportsbook, winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, 800-327-5050. New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See the Fanatics Sportsbook app. Let's kick off the show with 2 franchises who came into the season with some promise and now find themselves with only 2 wins apiece and dominoes falling around them. The New York Giants and the Las Vegas Raiders. The Giants fired DC Shane Bowen, and obviously this comes on the heels of Brian Daboll. If you're the defense, it's simply been not good enough. You have a ton of really good players, a talented front, but you've blown 5 double-digit leads, 3 of which have come in the fourth quarter. That will not be tolerated. I actually think Mike Kafka, the interim coach, has done a very good job. He's been creative. He has absolutely gone for broke. To me, has shown a lot of life. The question now becomes, how much more creativity will the Giants allow him, and how safe do they want to play it with Jameis Winston under center as they begin their new search for a head coach? The Raiders, meanwhile, fired OC Chip Kelly after another disappointing week for the Silver and Black. Offensively, it has been a nightmare, but it's not just Chip Kelly I'm watching for. It is Pete Carroll, the oldest head coach in the NFL. They brought him in, make no mistake, to bring credibility and equity to a franchise that has been the laughingstock of the NFL basically for the past 2 decades. The interesting part here, and this has not been talked about enough, is that Pete Carroll only signed a 3-year deal. The GM, John Spytek, signed a 5-year deal. His window is longer, and also he's playing for the future. And this has been kind of the push and pull between head coach and GM. And to me, it's one of the reasons why it has not been successful in Las Vegas this season. So Pete Carroll, I'm absolutely watching very closely down the stretch. I also don't think we've seen the last of the firings for the year, to say the least. Brian Daboll's gone. Pete Carroll's on my watch list. There's also a few other names I'm watching very closely down this stretch. Raheem Morris in Atlanta, Jonathan Gannon in Arizona, and potentially Zac Taylor in Cincinnati. He only has 1 more year left on his deal, although I think he's probably the safest of those 3. But this is where I think things get very interesting for not only Zac Taylor, but the Bengals. I happen to think that Zac Taylor is safe and that ownership will be patient with him considering the injuries they've had to endure this season, most notably to Joe Burrow, who comes back on Thanksgiving Day to face the Ravens in Baltimore. Now, Cincinnati's 3-8, but they still have a playoff pulse. They don't have any room for error, but the AFC North is absolutely still up for grabs. The Ravens have won 5 straight. Pittsburgh is still a 6-win team. Cincinnati can get hot. Now, they won't have T, they won't have Trey, but this is absolutely a team that can still make a playoff push, believe it or not. I traveled out to Arrowhead last weekend to catch what became a historic matchup between the Chiefs and the Colts, and here's my take on it. Now, Kansas City wins the game. Incredible comeback, incredible fortitude. Steve Spagnuolo was tremendous in the second half and overtime. I think they had 5 straight 3-and-outs they forced. But also, to me, was really interesting to see Indianapolis not really trusting Daniel Jones to throw the ball and force-feeding Jonathan Taylor. Now, the play calling indicated that Indianapolis, to me, still wants to run the ball more than they need to. In other words, as great as Jonathan Taylor is, and he is tremendous, you have Daniel Jones, who's been an MVP candidate, and you have a ton of really talented pass catchers in Tyler Warren, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, and Alec Pierce. Now, to me, if the Colts want to be the championship caliber team that I think they can become, they have to trust the quarterback. I do want to go back to Kansas City briefly. It was a gutty, impressive win, and honestly, a win they had to have. They're now 6-5, and this is the type of win that can be galvanizing, particularly when you've been under duress for a few weeks. Kansas City had never lost 3 straight with Patrick Mahomes. They signed Dameon Pierce. I reported that Sunday night. That'll add some juice to the backfield. You have Kareem Hunt, who had the fumble, but actually had his first 100-yard rushing game of the season. Isaiah Pacheco should be back as well. And now you have an opportunity to go to Dallas against a pretty good Cowboys team. And oh, by the way, this is the first time Patrick Mahomes, a Texas native, plays at Dallas. They went there his rookie year. Alex Smith started. Mahomes in Dallas should be an absolutely awesome matchup and potentially the most watched regular season game in NFL history. Now let's bring on a man who is the first to sit and the last to leave the Thanksgiving dinner table, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. Key, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Well, first of all, Jordan, happy Thanksgiving because I won't be talking to you on Thursday.
Well,
On
you don't
top of
know
that,
that. I'll probably call you.
I am not the first, okay, to sit, nor the last to leave. So let's clear that up. I'm not a fat boy. So let's not project that out there to the world that I am such a fat boy. Um, I do a lot of cooking on Thanksgiving, and we usually have about anywhere from 40 to 50 people. And we all gather around at a friend's house and the family home that we've been visiting with for over the last decade or so. We've been with them and we bring our family and their family and a couple other families together. But I would say when you think about anything that has breadcrumbs on it, it's literally the worst. Literally the worst. And I can't speak for all. I'll do it the politically correct way. African Americans, so to speak, black families. We don't mess with breadcrumbs on stuff. So
Why?
typically, I don't know. It's just I think it really truly is an upbringing, Jordan. Like breadcrumbs on like macaroni and cheese. Oh my God. You might as well just kick me in the ocean right now. Right? I mean,
You
that's
won't eat it.
like
You won't eat
seriously.
it.
No, marshmallows on top of
I agree on that.
sweet potatoes and
Marshmallows are
candy
terrible.
yams? Like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. Raisins and potato salad, that would be more of your side of the family.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So there are some dishes that you just, yeah, I'd rather not.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving side?
I would say anything that is related to a green vegetable, so to speak, right? Collard greens, any type of broccoli, so to speak,
Oh, okay.
asparagus,
Yeah.
any of that type of deal. I'm not a big man. I'm gonna eat turkey. It'll be like one slice of something, but for the most part, um, it's anything with the green,
Yeah. You're You're
green
like the
to it.
healthy stuff. Okay, good.
Yeah, I do. I don't really eat. I don't pile it on because you can't. You'll see the spread on Thanksgiving. There's no possible way you're going to get through every single dish. It's impossible.
Thoughts on Shedeur's first game and being named starter? He played against a bad team, but I thought he did more than enough to be their starter the rest of the season.
Okay, so here we go, Jordan, right? He played against a bad team. He played against the Raiders. They're an NFL team. They're one of 32. No matter what the record says, it's not a bad football team. It's a horrible football team with grown ass men that make millions of dollars that are trying to eat his lunch. And so when you say bad team, all young quarterbacks play against bad teams. And that's the obvious, right? So you set him up for success. Dylan Gabriel got hurt. He came in, as a backup. Backups only get so many reps. They don't get a ton of reps. They get so many reps, and then they show you what they can do. He comes in that game. He throws an interception. He doesn't play well in the second half, but he gets a full week of first reps with the first team. He gets the coaches to tell him or show him the things that he does well and doesn't do well. He gets to tell the team, I don't like this, I like that. So now that offense is typically his. It's his now. So what happens in these situations, coaches like to play young guys against non-inferior opponents early when they get to start, right? It's usually like a bye week coming up, so they name the starter, and then they get a bye week to prep him the way he needs to be prepped, Jordan. And then from there, they allow him to go out there and do his deal. Well, the kid was 11 or 20, a little bit over 200 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. If that was any other quarterback that was a rookie, we would be pushing the ceiling high, saying, oh my God, can you believe that? We wouldn't discount the screen. Here's what I would say about the screen. It was to perfection, right? He did everything he needed to do at the quarterback position. He dropped back. He set his shoulders right. He went boom. He delivered the football in sync, catchable ball. The blocks got out on the perimeter. They made their blocks. The guy was off to the races. There was no panic. He didn't overthrow it. He didn't throw it late. He didn't throw it low. So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, he's doing all the right things. He's better than what people would like to say he is. But if it was any other quarterback, we looked at Bryce Young last night against San Francisco 49ers. Now, Bryce Young didn't play well, but he's the starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Where is there a difference between Shedeur Sanders and Bryce Young when you look at it?
We don't know what Shedeur is yet.
We don't. But my point of that is there's a quarterback who's a starter, who's the number one overall pick in Bryce Young, and I watched him against the San Francisco 49ers. And you look at that and you then look at Shedeur Sanders against the Raiders, and you're like, well, which one would you rather have? And I'm just talking about from a one-game sample up against each other as the number one guy and then another guy who went in the fifth round. So that's how I kind of assess it and break it down and analyze it. Where here's a guy who threw for under 200, and here's a guy who threw for over 200, and I'm just comparing two young quarterbacks. One guy's the starter, one guy's fighting to show an organization he can be the starter.
What about Lamar? They've won 5 in a row, but
Yes.
we talked about it last week. He's obviously not the Lamar we all know and love. What are you seeing or not seeing?
Well, I think ever since the hamstring injury, he's still a little cautious of for whatever reason, of pulling the ball down and taking off and going. Seemed like he's sitting in the pocket a little bit more. Seems like he's still trying to get used to coming off an injury and processing everything. But they're winning. And when you win, I think that's really all that matters. Is if you win the football game, that really, we can't break his statistics down. Everybody's winning ugly. Chicago win ugly. Detroit win ugly. I mean, that's just what it is. We just expect more from a Lamar as a two-time MVP. So when we looked at him, he's playing below the expectations as far as we can tell, but they're winning football games, and really, that's all the locker room cares about.
I was at KC Colts last week, and it was striking to me the second half game plan for Indianapolis, how little they trusted Daniel Jones. He played well in the first half, and it was like they took the ball out of his hands. I didn't understand it. And if you're going to be a championship caliber team like they would hope, the quarterback has to have the trust of the coach.
Sometimes you're on the road, you don't want to make a mistake. Houston's hanging around, Jacksonville's hanging around. You're trying to get that game to stay right where you need to in the AFC, let alone the division. And so when you start to play scared football, a lot of the times it's because you're trying to preserve what you already have. You're holding on to that, opposed to saying, fuck that. I need to put the foot on the pedal and go. And you see The teams like the San Francisco 49ers, for instance, or Los Angeles Rams, for instance, they're up by 3 scores. They're still pushing. They're not all of a sudden shutting it down. They're still pushing the envelope. And those are the teams that have the success. If you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, when they were successful and they were up in games, they continued to push. They didn't all of a sudden turn around and run, 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 run. No, they didn't do that, Jordan. You pushed the football down the field because that's how you got there to begin with.
Yeah, it was like they played not to lose.
And then you're going to lose. That it always happens. When you play not to lose, you're going to lose. When you're in late in games and all of a sudden you're playing prevent defense, that prevent defense is preventing you from winning the damn game. Play the normal defense that got you in this situation. Don't all of a sudden have somebody 30 yards off and letting guys catch the ball in front of you. Don't do that. Play the normal defense.
I mean, that's why Shane Bowen doesn't have a job today, the Giants defensive coordinator. They went way too soft. Another coordinator that got fired was Chip Kelly, offensive coordinator. To me, that was the most disappointing of all of them because I just expected much more from a Pete Carroll team, and obviously Chip was a big problem.
Well, you can't expect anything when you don't have anything. Outside of the tight end, what do they have offensively?
Well, Geno's coming off a couple good years.
Again, outside the tight end, what do they have, Jordan? You know,
They have a young runner.
Geno is a nice piece that could back up, but you're not going to the Super Bowl with Geno Smith. It's just not going to happen. He is who he is. We saw him in Seattle as we
He
were
was
watching
good
the
in
game.
Seattle. He was very good.
He was serviceable in Seattle.
I thought he was pretty good.
He was very serviceable. That's what he was. He was serviceable.
But why the regression then?
First of all, he doesn't have a true number one wide receiver other than
That's
the
true.
tight end.
They have a runner.
They haven't run the
tight end.
football. They haven't run the football nearly as effective as they did in Seattle. The defense is not Seattle defense. It's totally different. See, Pete Carroll got caught in the I remember when we went down the aisle together, let's rekindle our relationship. He got caught into that. Instead of saying, you know what? One of the reasons I'm out of Seattle is because of the quarterback. That's what I can't, but he revisited it. He just revisited it. It probably was the wrong situation. Now, in terms of Chip Kelly, though, Jordan,
Awful.
what success other than the first
Oregon.
year in Philadelphia? And I'm not talking about college.
Oh, the first year in Philadelphia, he has not
I'm
had
talking about
any
professional football.
I totally
Outside
agree.
the first year in Philadelphia,
None. None.
this is the NFL.
Yeah.
This is not Ohio State. This is not Oregon. This is not those type of college teams in offenses. This is not UCLA, right? This is not what was it, Rhode Island or whatever college it was that he started at. New Hampshire. Yeah, this is not New Hampshire. This is the National Football League. So you can't come into those things thinking because he was successful and won a national title at Ohio State that he was going to bring that same philosophy to the National Football League and be successful as a coordinator. Because if you, like I said, if you go and you look Philadelphia that first year, yeah, outside of that, no.
Pete Carroll kept talking about, Chip Kelly's accomplished a lot. I gave him a lot of leeway. All due respect to Pete, that's on Pete.
It is. It's on Pete. I don't know what some of these coaches look for, Jordan. And I know Pete very well, and I respect Pete. And I talked to Pete, and I threw some names at him way before there was a Chip Kelly even in sight. Even in Seattle, I tried to help him as a friend identify offensive minds and coordinators. But sometimes they just, everybody got the answers. So you just kind of let them do what they do. You're like, okay, you done been through a lot of coordinators in Seattle in what was he there, 12 years, 13 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, you went through a half a dozen offensive coordinators. So clearly you can identify the right individual to run your offense. Now people are looking at you and saying, that shit that worked 30 years ago isn't working now to people because of your age. You're stale, you're old. All you want to do is do what you did in Seattle, which isn't true, at all. He's got to get an offensive coordinator. He's got to get a quarterback. He's got to get a receiver. He's got to get a healthy offensive line, and he's got to shore up the back end and the secondary. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but they can do it in a short period of time.
What are your thoughts on Joe Burrow playing on Thanksgiving? They're 3-8. They are 3-8. They're still in it because of the AFC and the division.
Yeah, they're technically not not eliminated based on the record, but technically they are eliminated.
So you would shut them down.
Probably wouldn't.
You would let.
Look, I'm
Okay.
paying a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah.
He wants to play.
Clearly, yes.
And it's very difficult to give a guy that type of money and have him standing on the sideline when he's ready to go. It's difficult. Because what you're doing is you're telling the rest of the team, the other 52 guys that are
Yeah,
on the
we're giving up.
active roster, we're giving up. And that's not a message that you want to send. And on top of that, as the head coach, I need to save my job. Because if I put Burrow out there and he gives me some wins, I can always point to the owner and say, see, when he's healthy, we're good. But when he's not out there and you're losing games, it all falls on you as the head coach because you're supposed to fix that problem because there's
Right.
other teams without quarterbacks that are winning. And there's other teams without players that are winning. So I understand why Zac Taylor may want to play him on Thanksgiving.
Well, what was your general experience playing on Thanksgiving? Did you like it? Did you hate it?
It was interesting because I think I played 3 times on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not 100% sure. I know 2, I was a Cowboy, but I feel like either when I played in Tampa or in New York, we
Yeah, I
played the
think you had a third.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
I had 3. It was 3?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. It was fine.
Some guys don't like it because they're away from their family and they're not able to enjoy.
Ironically, the one time that we played and I was the visiting team, my entire family traveled
Oh,
because my mom is originally from Dallas, Texas.
oh,
And
that's
so
cool.
she has a slew of family and cousins and the whole deal. Then when we played in Dallas, my entire family would come and I had a box and whatnot. So we would have Thanksgiving set up inside the box. And they would basically be eating Thanksgiving while they're watching our game. And then I would come up. I would come up after the game, right? My box was right above our locker, so I would take the locker room. So I would take the elevator right up to the box, and we would probably hang out a couple hours after the game and let the traffic die down. So it was a really good experience. It was a real good experience. I don't even know if I won on Thanksgiving. I have no idea what the record is or anything. I think I may have won one. I'm not 100% sure. You may have to look that up.
May I say a little bougie?
What
You
is?
got the elevator up to the box. You got Thanksgiving.
Well, that's the stadium. Come on, Jordan. I didn't build it. That was the Texas Stadium. It was just right there. I'm not gonna have my family sit. You're not sitting in the stands when you go to a game. Don't you start with me.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. And I was a player at the time, and I had, kids and family. It was just Jerry hooked it up.
2 more. JSN. Do you think he's going to break Megatron? He needs basically 108, 109 yards a game
Yes.
to break. Okay.
Yeah, because they're winning, and when you're winning, you don't mind making a statement for a player. When you're winning games, you make sure that he gets what he needs while you're winning these games.
Right.
Right? You want to because
It's
the
not
reason
always
you're
going to be
winning.
like that.
No, not only that, but when you're winning, he's the reason you're winning. So if you stop and decide you're not going to get him the football, you're going to lose. So you got to get him the ball to be successful. I mean, that's the reality of it. It's like in basketball. You're going to get Joker the basketball. He's going to fill up the box scores. You're going to get SGA the basketball because he's going to fill it up and you're going to win. Luka, he's going to take his shots because he helps you win. And it's the same thing with JSN. You got to get him the football.
Love his game. So balanced. Always open.
I wasn't in love, so to speak. I was like, whatever, slot guy. But he's proved to me he runs routes on the outside edge of the numbers. That right there got my heart. I'm good now. You good with me now. Because when you don't run numbers, when you don't line up on the outside edge of those numbers and run your route, everything is in the slot, or you're motioning from the outside edge into the slot. You're playing a trick football. I can't jump on the table for you. But with him, there's no trick football. He's literally legitimately running routes like a real number one.
Kind of like somebody I know.
Well, maybe. I mean, he does a good job.
And to his credit, Darnold stepped up after a horrible Rams game, which you said 2 of those 4 picks weren't on him.
No,
And then
2
he
of the 4 were
stepped
not, and they still
Yeah.
had a chance to win.
No chance to win.
And they still had a chance to win.
More confidence in the Rams or the Seahawks, in the season?
What are we more confidence in? What are you asking me?
I'm just saying, if you had to pick a team to win the NFC, are you picking the Rams? Basically, is the question.
Where are we playing? See, it's a lot that goes into
Well, right now they're the one. They're the one.
Yeah, okay. So they're the one. I kind of like the Rams. I do. I kind of like them. But if they stumbled up and Seattle became the one and they had to go to Seattle, then I think I'd take Seattle. But if Seattle had to go to the Rams, I'm sticking with the Rams and Sean McVay.
The Rams still play at Seattle week before Christmas. So obviously
Yes.
they have the tiebreaker right now. So basically you would take whoever the higher seed is. If Seattle's the one and they have home field, you're taking them, or if it's the Rams. Because those are the 2 best teams in the NFC along with Philly right now record-wise.
If both teams are healthy on the 18th, I'm taking Seattle already. Because it's at Seattle. You're going to get a little drizzle coming down, the 12th man, all the BS that goes up in Seattle. You're going to get all that, right? And so I like Seattle because they have a portable offense that can travel, running the football, and the Rams do too. But they got the two-headed monster. And it's very difficult to beat this type of team twice in the same year.
Yes.
It's hard. It's just, let alone 3 times. It's extremely hard. You beat them at home, you're most likely going to lose to them on the road.
What's your favorite pie on Thanksgiving, Key?
There's only one pie to go to, the sweet potato. Anything
Pecan.
outside of that, I mean, it's okay. I'm not a big pecan fan, but sweet potato pie is probably the number one deal on holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas in America, I would believe, even over apple pie.
A little strawberry rhubarb, maybe.
No. See, you're
That's
doing
my
too much.
people.
It may be a cultural thing,
Cultural thing,
right,
for sure.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Pecan pie's fine. It's fine. But the sweet potato is, if you know how to make it or get somebody to make it, and it's
Tough
yeah.
to beat it. Yeah.
I can't, whatever y'all do, y'all do.
Bagels. We got bagels and lox.
Oh, God, stop. Yeah, this dude did bagels and lox.
Bagels, lox. Maybe some salmon.
One of my dishes I do have to make is some sort of fish, and I'm kind of trying to decide. Last year I made a really large salmon.
Beautiful.
It's huge. I'll pull up the pictures at some point and show them to you. So this really large salmon on top of a bed of arugula with jumbo shrimp around it. Now all this is grilled. It's grilled to perfection.
Wow.
I had a corn salad on the perimeter with the jumbo shrimp all the way around it, with avocado salsa, hot as hell, drizzled.
That sounds amazing.
Around the top of it. It was colorful. It's a whole deal, right? By the time you went around the island and picked everything you want, by the time you got to the salmon, you were only looking at the bed of arugula.
Right.
Because it was just literally gone. And I'm like, the thing was like a real fish. It wasn't like little fillets. It was huge, humongous. And so this year, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do a white fish or repeat the same thing. I just haven't decided on the same.
I think you repeat it. Keyshawn Johnson, the Renaissance man.
If you look at some of my social media posts and things of that nature, I can't cook. I don't have a chef that comes and does the deal. I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying I can cook.
You don't want me cooking for you. Key, have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. Thank you, and thanks for dealing with me. This is probably the sickest I've been in 3 or 4 years, so thanks for dealing with me today.
How do I say Happy Thanksgiving?
Shalom.
You don't even know. Is it just shalom?
Oh, and in Hebrew, you would just say Happy Thanksgiving. We don't have a term for that.
Oh, for real? You probably do, and you just don't know it.
I just don't know it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All
Uh,
right, man. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you.
Thanks, bro. Want to welcome into the show a good friend of mine and also a fellow podcaster, Downs to Business,
Yes, sir.
Josh Downs. Josh, I guess I'll start with that. How did you and Caleb come up with the idea to do the podcast, and what has it been like so far?
It's kind of a new thing, just every week getting in front of the camera on Monday and just talking with my brother and getting in that rhythm. But it's good to be able to separate work from that and just find something else to kind of do on a weekly basis and just be able to spend time with my brother for real. Just get on there and chop it up and have a good weekly convo every week. We know we're gonna get one in with that. So it's a good time and I enjoy it.
What's been the reaction from Colts fans and Buckeye fans?
Now, Buckeye fans love it. Colts fans love it. I mean, it's cool to get a special guest on there every week. We've had Danny on there. We've
Yeah,
had
Daniel.
JT.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Jeremiah Smith on there yesterday, and then we had we've had Julian Sane on there, Ryan Day. A lot of good names on there. So hopefully we can get some other players from different teams on there. But we started off with that.
What was the biggest surprise for you with hosting? Like, was it harder or easier than you thought?
I would say it's a little easier, but I would just say like even when you're not in the best mood, having to just still like talk on camera, like you can't show you're in a bad mood and get on the show. You got to just be like, yeah, like I made a commitment to this, so it's time to talk and give my honest thoughts on everything. But I got to have a good attitude, so I feel like that's the main thing.
First perception of Daniel Jones, and then what has been different or the same since then for you?
First perception, I mean, I know he was a hardworking guy, kind of quiet at first. But I know he was hardworking in the facility early, leave late, and then now it's kind of just showing like now he's come out of his shell for sure. Like he talks, he got some good jokes, and we always obviously he went to Duke, I went to UNC, so we got some trash talk going on there. But not good dude in the facility early, out late, tough as nails. He's a savage. So I mean, couldn't ask for a better dude as a quarterback. Just somebody that truly would go to war every week and he's willing to put it all on the line. So I mean, great player.
What's your take on his drip or lack thereof?
Now he just, he got that chill drip. I mean, he just pulling up to the game like ready for business. Got that business casual look, like I'm going to get a coffee, going for a little business meeting. He got that kind of look. I mean, can't knock it. I mean, he's out there just he's trying to play ball though. So I get it. He got a little hat on usually. Got some jeans or some like khaki pants and just a little maybe half button up zip. So some slight.
I told him, I was like, bro, now that you're an MVP candidate, you got to start, like look at Mahomes, look at Hurts. These guys are dressed to the nines.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's just not I'm not going to pull up wearing a 3-piece suit. It's
Yeah.
not his style.
For sure, for sure. Nah, I mean, he got to just stay true to himself, You just got to be you. So I understand him at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, maybe I mean, I don't blame him. I'll say that. He want to just chill. I don't blame him. He just trying to go out there and ball.
What do you think in general? What has the offense done? And what has Daniel done, I guess, specifically that has surprised you the most?
Yeah, I mean, just a offense with a lot of weapons, and then you got JT back there being JT. So Daniel's able to get everybody involved, even though we got a lot of people in that offense, and that's one of the things that I credit him a lot. He tries to get everybody involved, and then obviously he's doing a great job distributing it, and he's making the throws we need, and he's making plays also with his legs that a lot of people aren't giving him credit for. He's actually really athletic,
He
kind of
is.
fast, so. But yeah, he's the general, and then you got JT back there playing really good as well.
Who's the MVP? Is Jonathan Taylor the current MVP?
I mean, I think he's the best player in the league. Just seeing it week in, week out. I mean, he's playing at a high level. So yeah, I'd like to say he's the MVP. And then I mean, I went to school with Drake Maye in college, so I'll say Drake Maye's number 2, just because I mean I went to school with him and fellow Tar Heel.
There are some similarities between Drake and Daniel, are there not? Just attitude-wise and just professionalism?
No, for sure. I'd say like their competitive drive is very similar. They're two dudes like when you see how they kind of like will scramble and they'll put their body on the line. I think they're very similar in that manner, and then and just how hard they work. But like like just seeing how there's those are two dudes like they're athletic for sure. But they're really will go out there and run and do anything to get that first down. That's when you know you got a real competitor, and I love seeing it.
Right now, who are your favorite 5 wide receivers in football?
Overall, I mean, I say Justin Jefferson. He's been ridiculous his whole career. Jamar Chase, same thing. JSN, known him for a long time. I mean, he's playing at an all-time level right now. I love to see it. I mean, he's incredible. Let me see. I mean, Puka's playing really well right now as well. And then George Pickens is playing really well right now. George Pickens is playing really good football, and he's tremendously talented. So I'll say those five are at the top right now in the game.
Your ability, Josh, to catch the ball shy of the sticks, turn it upfield, and get yards. Where does that come from? Not a lot of guys can do it, especially at that level.
Yeah, I mean, I used to play running back when I was younger, all the way till high school, and then obviously just God-given talent, being born quick and having that knack. But yeah, just playing running back when I was younger, and then working out with my dad all the time, and working out with my brother, and then yeah, just the quickness helps with that, and yeah, I mean, I'll say all those things put together allow some plays to be made.
Caleb is next level. Where do you think he should be drafted?
I mean, obviously, I think he should be a top 10 draft pick. He plays safety, so it's a little different at that position, but I think he should be a top 10 draft pick.
To me, he should be like a top 5 pick.
I was saying top 10 because of the position he plays. Like safeties
I
aren't
know,
usually
but
taken in
fuck
the
that.
top.
He's so
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, but like no, honestly, I do think he's for sure a top 5 player in college football right now. So I mean, if we were just going off, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 best players, for sure top 5 player, you say top 3. But I mean, I like with the you know how the safety position is, like I mean, I think he'll be a top 10 pick.
You mentioned JSN. What does he do so well that maybe other people didn't know or weren't expecting out of him? Like, what do you love about his game?
Just his ability to separate, route running, and then he got crazy ball skills. So I feel like all those things put together just get the product he got on the field right now is showing it.
What's it like having a legend like Reggie Wayne as a coach?
No, it's cool. I mean, Reggie's a good dude. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. He's played the game. He's played it at a high level. So that's always a good thing to have a guy like that who's excellent in his own manner and did it at a high level on a Super Bowl team. So having him being able to give you tips every day and is big, and it allows your game to flourish and get better.
I was at the KC game last week. I know it was a loss, but that environment, it felt like a playoff game. What did you take away from it?
Yeah, I mean, we took them to overtime, so I'll say that we're a really good team. We're right there. They've won the ship 3 times out of the past I don't know how many years. So they're a great
Yeah,
team.
3-5. 3-5.
Yeah, so they're a great team. I mean, they got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, like great coach as well. So I mean, at the end of the day, it was a tough loss, but we did take them to overtime, and it came down to the wire. So I do believe that we have a really good team, and we got a good shot to win these next few games and put ourselves in a good position.
What are the 3 hardest road stadiums to play at?
I'll say obviously the Chiefs were good environment. Minnesota was a good environment.
Yeah.
I haven't played in Seattle, but I've heard Seattle's the one of the loudest as well. I will say Jacksonville gets rocking when they're a good team. When they're good, Jacksonville gets rocking.
What did you think about Sauce, and what was the same or different now that you've been with him a couple weeks?
Yeah, Sauce is a great player. He's a funny guy as well. I mean, he's a guy who just knows how to
He's funny?
he knows how to have a good convo. So that's what I say about Sauce. I mean, good player. Excited to have him on our team. Like, sad we let AD Mitchell go. That's my dog. That's one of my good friends. But yeah, Sauce is a good dude as well, and he's playing well right now, and he's funny. Knows how to have a good convo. That's what I say about him.
What does that mean? Like a good convo?
Like he know how to have a good convo. He has a lot of stories to tell. Like, so that's cool. Like, I'm like, all right, like I'll just listen. So that's what he got some good. You have to get him on the show. Ask him about his life experiences.
Like I've seen him golf, for example.
Oh yeah, like yesterday he was telling me he's a good golfer. I didn't believe it at first, but he's like, "Oh, I won the NFL PA thing with Alec and Des Ritter. Like, I'm good." And I was like,
I'm
"Okay."
good.
Like, so I was like, "All right." I'm obviously like. Then I was like, "Okay, he probably is good because he did win the NFL PA tournament thing, so he must be good."
Daniel's good. Daniel's good.
Yeah, Daniel's good too. AP Alec
Well,
Pierce is really good.
Alex Pierce really good. What was your reaction to the Sox trade? First reaction.
I was just kind of like shocked. I was just shocked. I mean, I was like, dang. And then I didn't see at first they let AD go.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that, I was like, dang. I was kind of like, just like, dang, that's tough for my boy. But I'm excited to see him get a new opportunity and get a change of scenery and be able to flourish. He's a great player, so I'm excited to see what he does.
Now for my bets of the week, presented by Fanatic Sportsbook. As always, I have not seen these lines, so let's get right into it. We got the Packers plus 2.5 at Detroit, Dallas plus 3.5 versus the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Packers plus 2.5 at Detroit, coming off a no-frills win. Detroit coming off a very close win against the Giants. I trust Jordan Love on the road. Then we have the Bengals plus 7 at Baltimore or the Bears plus 7 at Philly. I'm going to take Cincinnati, Joe Burrow back in the mix. No Tee Higgins, no Trey Hendrickson, but you do have Jamar Chase, and that is a big number in a must-win game for Cincinnati. Colts minus 4.5 versus Houston or Buffalo minus 4 at the Steelers. I'm going to take Buffalo. Josh Allen was sacked 8 times against the Texans. That will not be tolerated in another week against a ferocious pass rush in Pittsburgh. I like Buffalo in this game, although I do think Pittsburgh will try to control it on the ground. To me, the difference could be Aaron Rodgers in the hand. Give me Buffalo minus 4 at Pittsburgh. That is it for episode 13 of the Schultz Report. Thank you to Keyshawn Johnson and Josh Downs for joining me today. And, of course, thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe and share. Happy Thanksgiving to all of those who celebrate. We'll see you this weekend.